Hello, everybody, and welcome. I am here today with another super exciting episode where we are celebrating the real life transformations of a business owner, Carolina. So, welcome, Carolina, who has been taking very bold steps to grow and lead with purpose in her business, which is Studio 16 Entertainment. So, Carolina and her team joined the Rocket program with actually very little recruitment experience, but they have completely transformed the way they run their talent agency. And I'm going to use Carolina's words from chaos to clarity and from surviving to absolutely scaling. I know that her story is one that you will not want to miss. So, if you are listening in today, we have something super, super exciting for you to share. And before we get into today's podcast, where we're going to be diving into the exact strategies that Carolina took to grow and achieve her business results, in today's session, you will see that there is a button below, which will give you access to a free resource which is connected to today's podcast. So, if you want to access those answers, that exact blueprint of what Carolina followed and many others of our clients, if you want to download that, you can just click the button below and that will take you to that free resource. So, Carolina, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Katie. I'm very happy to be here with you today.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you. So, let's go back to the beginning. Which was some 9 months ago now, before you joined the Rocket program. Share with us what was happening for you in the business at that time.
Well, just we have a talent agency. We represent musicians on cruise ships, so this is a very niche business, and we didn't know anything about recruitment. My husband and I we run this business. He's a musician, and I used to work on cruises. That's it. This is the experience we had.
Yeah.
But an idea came. We built this talent agency, but after a couple of 3 years, we saw that everything was a mess. We didn't know how to recruit, we didn't know how to find talent, and we didn't know how to onboard them in Studio 16, and we didn't know how to represent them out there on the cruise ship industry.
Mhm.
So we were doing great, but with so many frustrations, we didn't know how to delegate in our talent in our team. We didn't have any process. Well, it was like a bit of a disaster.
Yeah, I mean that must have been such a big leap for you, coming into recruitment without that background. But as you say, particularly, I mean, I didn't know until we met you guys that there was even a recruitment world of talent on cruise ships. So it just shows, doesn't it, that how the depth of recruitment and how far it can go. So you've touched on some of those challenges that you were facing at that point. Let's paint a bit of a picture in terms of what that looked like. So on the day to day for you guys, what were some of the problems that you were facing there in the agency?
Our main problem was the offer rejectors. Yes, we had like I don't know how many per year, but we were sending offers to musicians and they were rejecting. And it was, I mean, they were great offers. But then with Lucy and all this program, we understood that no, we need to do much more work before sending these offers. And now we don't have any rejection. That's
Amazing,
one thing.
amazing.
Amazing. Amazing.
So you mentioned there you were receiving rejection. So what would happen is you're talking to candidates, and as you say, these are musicians that often contract, don't they? But I think they stay for quite a long period of time. Like they might do a season with one of the cruise ships,
Mhm.
um, and so what was happening was you would be getting offers for those people, but they'd have offers to a penny, and so that, they would go with another colleague or go directly to the cruise ship.
It doesn't work exactly like that. They just say no, this is not a great salary for me. I don't like the itinerary. I don't like the ship. It's also working with musicians. it's special to work with this kind of people, to work with these egos,
Yes.
on the
Yes.
artist wall. So yeah, we had a lot of rejections,
Ah,
and this is very frustrating because you're having those meetings with the cruise line bookers, and they are sending offers to your artist, and then you have to say no, and they are like, why not? So why you show me this artist? So we learn that there is so much work before sending those artists
yeah.
to the cruise lines.
Yeah, and it's difficult, isn't it? Like you say, when you're dealing with type of individual, but it's not just the individual, is it? It wasn't just the candidate where, if you like, there were challenges. It's also from the client perspective, because as you say, sometimes when we're dealing with recruitment, the clients don't realize um that there's a part in which they play that's, either supports the process or can actually totally undo the process. And so it's managing both of those customers at the same time, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So let's talk about what changed after you joined the program. So what were some of the changes that you made?
In general, we are now much more organized. Our team is bigger. When we started, we were like four. Uh, Lucy also helped us to understand how we need to hire our internal team, if they are a good fit or not, because this is another part of a business owner. It's very hard to hire someone to work with you, and it's extra hard to fire them if they are not a great fit. So now we have a team of six. Everyone knows what to do. We have process in places, and we know what is everyone doing right now, and we know how to delegate, and everything goes smooth. Of course, we have some days that something can happen, but wow, it's different. And
Yeah.
where we see more change is in our personal life.
Lovely.
This has been huge, from working 24/7,
Yeah.
like nights, weekends, no holidays. Now I can say that we can run the business with 5 hours a day, David and me. So 10, let's say, in total between both of us. But this is amazing. Of
Mm,
course, we have some days that we need to work a little bit more. But
yeah.
when you have systems, when you have great people that you can trust, it changed your life. Now we have more time to spend with our kids. We go to the gym every morning. We can, it's different.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. A whole
it's
different
amazing.
paradigm.
Yeah,
Amazing. And
amazing.
I often find when I talk to our clients that there can be like a significant moment, or let's say, like you're saying, a significant strategy or system that really, shifts the needle in their business. What was one of those processes for you that really made the difference?
For us, the MBC. When we implemented the MBC, everything changed. Everything become more human when speaking with artists, because we did it. We used to do everything by email. Yeah, are you available for this? What would you like? Which itinerary? What's your main role? Everything by email, and no, it's not working. Now everything we do it's by video call or a call, so the process is more human. We can see more on those artists. We can detect red flags when they are in doubt. Hey, yes, no, but my family, because there is so many things to work on cruise ships. They are outside of their home. They miss the family. Then we have visas. Then we have medical exams. So there is so many things that we need to know on those video calls. And the NBC, it was a big change for us.
And when you say NVC, for our listeners, what do we mean by NVC?
The most valuable candidates. It's like an interview, let's say, where we determine, at least in our business, if we want to work with this specific artist or not. Because In our business, this relationship is not only for a couple of weeks, it's for years if they want to keep working on board.
Right.
So sometimes we have a very talented musicians, but on the human side, there is not this kind of connection. So we just say, no, we thanks, but you are not for our agency, or our agency is not for you. So feel free to find another business to work with. And this is also peace of mind.
Mm.
It's amazing to learn also when to say no, thank you. Even if this means to make more money, this is also something that we learn with Lucy.
Great. And and the thing with the most valuable candidate process, as you say there, because as for people listening, for clients listening, you often find that as an agency, you can, on the balance, you'll either be more client focused or more candidate focused. And what we mean by that is you either tend to win the client and you fill the job, or you tend to win the candidate, and then the candidate is one that you take to the client. You know, you kind of win your vacancies or your revenue that way. So for you, it's very much what you're talking about there is that most valuable candidate, understanding what that most valuable candidate is, and making sure you work with those people. But then it's that service offering for that candidate, isn't it? It's packaging that candidate
Yeah.
who is like we call them like the baby chicks, you know, and then you got to package them and you're going to treat them with with gold gloves and ensure that they're represented in the right way. And of course, not forgetting the very valid point you made there. They need to be the right type of candidate that you're going to wrap into this process. But then, you very much give them that high level VIP level of service.
Hmm.
And it means that you're placing, as you say, a very high proportion of them, whether that's 85% or higher. You make sure that that candidate is one that you represent, but then you place. And so there's a whole system behind how you work with those candidates. And it's interesting what you were saying about, because I think this is so true, isn't it? Particularly in the world that we're in nowadays, whether it's with AI or tech or just the fact that everything is so 24/7 and automated and immediate is we can naturally find ourselves inclined to do a lot of interaction communication with our customers via email or via a tech solution rather than, as you're saying, picking up the phone and having that very intimate and more powerful human connection. And so what was it that you found just making that shift?
Hmm.
What was the difference that that made for you, having that connection, let's say, versus email or WhatsApp or text?
For us, there is two big things about the MBC, about doing a video call, and we even record them to check if we have some doubts. We record everything. And first of all, that we can recognize red flags when because we have certain questions, the killer questions. In our
Right.
case, in our business, we have killer questions. If it's not the right answer,
Yeah.
is not the right candidate. Maybe they have the talent, maybe they have everything, but then we cannot put these artists on a cruise line booker and to get an offer and to say no. So first of all, this is the first thing that the NBC help us.
Mm.
Now, everyone who does an NBC who sign with us, they 100% will say yes to an offer when it comes, and it will come for sure. And then the other part is that when we started to do this more human touch with everyone, even if we reject them, they feel so recognized. They feel very thankful because of our treatment. Because according to all those artists that are applying with us, they don't find this kind of service in other agencies. All of them says no, no. Other agencies just respond us via email. They don't ask us what are our preferences, what are whatever. So even if we reject them, they are happy with our service. What it means that they will send us referrals. which is another goal thing that we learn in.
Yeah, perfect. So exactly, you give them a great level of service, and then they refer other colleagues, other artists, other friends towards you because they've had that, that service level agreement is so good. That experience they have with you is so good.
Yeah.
So it's really that clarity then for you, wasn't it? It was that clarity, it was that focus, it was that process that made it's the game changer, that made the difference. What other improvements or um, strategies did you implement? So you said about the gold jobs. What happened around the team? Because you mentioned there that you've now increased your team, but actually you hired better people.
Yes, we changed a little bit our way to hire. We like when you start, you just have an interview with somebody. If you have a great feeling, it's okay. And then they are not the great fit. Also, at the beginning, you still really don't know which specific skills must have somebody for each specific department. We have been growing during the last year,
Mm.
and we have been more specific in every single department of Studio 16. So, first of all, we learn to know in which skills focus when hiring, because maybe, for example, we have a casting. Casting is one of our main departments. They need to see the talent. And so we wanted great musicians. We wanted musicians who knows how to read music, etc. But then you realize that the best of those musicians, then they don't know how to communicate. They are afraid to pick up the phone and make a call. They are, so it's different now how we hire them. Now, okay, you are a musician, but now let's make an interview. Let's pretend that you are calling someone. Let's pretend that we have an emergency and we have this. So we put them like in like reality situations during our interviews, and yeah, this has been also a big change.
Mm. Brilliant. So let's talk about results. What kind of results and improvements, yeah, have you seen implementing all of these changes?
Implementing all of this as a business, it's everything is more organized. Everything we have a as I always speak with Lucy that we felt like we were in a jungle at the beginning. We were in a jungle, fighting with everything. We didn't know where to go. And now we are in a jungle. We have a business. We're in a jungle, but there is a path. There is a clear path. Nobody's there. We just need to walk through. That's it. That's it. So we just need patience and time, but we have systems, the basic systems. Every month we try to get them better, faster, shorter. So now our work it's more to see our business outside, like do a zoom up and to see, okay, where we can do better here. So we focus there for a little of time. How can we provide a better service here? So
Mm.
it's amazing to be
Yeah.
able to do this and not to be there fighting. And it's
Yeah, giving you, as you say, that kind of aerial
Mhm.
view of the business,
Yeah.
space to see what is going on within the business, and also, as you say, from you mentioned earlier, the sea of rejections to full acceptance, and then more time to actually grow the business, and also we'll get to this in a second about how it personally changed things for you, but really shifting what was, we say to a lot of people, you're not a business owner, you're in a job, but you're in a job,
Yeah.
which you're not enjoying. And so this really is a success story about how you've changed your life outside of the business, as well as how you've changed the business itself.
Mhm. Yeah, our personal life changed like it's completely opposite. We have a 3 and a 4-year-old daughters. So this has been amazing also. From being all weekends having to work, at night having to work, and you know that this stress that maybe it's anything super dangerous for a business, but you cannot sleep because now everything is peace of mind. Um, we know everything is gonna be fine. We know it's just patient work, patient work. That's it, and we can manage. And as I told you, with 5, 6 hours per day, we run the business, and our goal is even work less if we
Wow.
can.
Well, that's the dream, right, isn't it?
Yeah,
Stress,
totally,
less
totally.
hours,
Yeah,
more profit, working smarter, certainly working smarter, not harder, but really reaping the rewards of, as we all do, we set businesses up for a very good reason, which is that we want that financial time, money, freedom. Um, and we're doing it, as you say, not just for the financial reward
no,
ultimately come, but for so many of us, I think it goes deeper to our real truth and values around our family and time,
yeah.
time being more important than money. So, Carolina, thanks so much for that. Before we wrap up, what would you say to somebody maybe in a similar situation to where you were, not that many months ago, where they're in that position, they're working their nuts off, they're not seeing their family, they feel like they're chained to the business. What would your advice be?
My advice, of course, to join Rocket. That's my first advice. But when you join Rocket, you need to implement everything. You really need to give your 100%. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. That's we were working extra hours. I was watching everything at night after putting the kids in bed, or waking up at 5 a.m. But there is a purpose, and in, I don't know, X or Y months, everything, it takes place. So just join Rocket, but implement everything as fast
Yeah.
as you can, because as fast as you can, you will implement new things and new things and new things, because there is always things to get to do better. But yeah, that would be my tips. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, you're absolutely right. We can all like take information in, but ultimately we do have to implement those things. But as you say, you implement those things for a short period of time. If you're living your life like that anyway, you're just going to continue on that hamster wheel, aren't you? But you could continue on the hamster wheel, but then in, 3 months, have a proof is in the pudding, right tools, right support. You can suddenly have a business where you're working as you say, 5 hours versus the 12 that you were before. So we're talking about, you know, short term for very long term gains. And I think, I do recognize, I think so many recruitment business owners work so hard anyway that actually, their expectation, they're so used to um, being on that hamster wheel, but also putting so much time and effort in. Really, it's you're not changing anything. It's what you're going to transform, isn't it? And the great thing is, as you've said yourself, you don't need to be a recruitment expert to build a really thriving recruitment business, do you?
No, no, really not. You tell me. Oh,
Yeah, brilliant. Well, Carolina, thank you so much for being with us today. So appreciate your time. And if you are listening, if you enjoyed Carolina's story, if she's inspired you, yeah, maybe share this episode with a fellow founder who needs to hear it. And if you're also ready to stop that surviving wheel, you want to start scaling, get in touch with us and we can help you with that. But remember, if you also want the link below to get a free download, which is exactly the steps that Carolina take, then please take advantage. Click the link below and we will see you again very soon on a next episode. So keep believing, keep building and keep backing yourself, guys. And we'll see you soon. Take care.